Yashasri Khalokar from First MBBS. Today's my topic is visual pathway. We see various objects near our surrounding. For the identification of that object, we require a particular pathway called visual pathway. Let's consider the definition of visual pathway. The image falling on the retina must be carried towards visual center in the cerebral cortex by a nervous pathway called visual pathway. For the identification of the objects, if we see any object, the photons of that object bombards on our retina. For the carriers of that photons, we require a particular receptors called visual receptors. For example, in human beings, rods and cones act as visual receptors. For better understanding of visual pathway, we must know the basics of visual field. Then, what is visual field? Visual field is the extent of external world which we can see by our one eye. Visual field is of two types, nasal and temporal. Inner side, that is medial side, which we see is nasal field, and outer laterally we see the temporal field. Nasal field, due to the presence of nose, is restricted and it only extends up to 60 degrees. But due to no restrictions in the lateral side, temporal field can extend up to 100 degrees. Let's see nasal field, and this one is larger temporal field of the eye. Let's see the basics of visual pathway. Rods and cones act as photoreceptor cells which perceives the photons, convert it into impulses and transmits the impulses towards bipolar cells. Bipolar cells transmit that impulses towards ganglionic cell. By ganglionic cell, the impulses reaches towards lateral geniculate body, and in the lateral geniculate body, new neurons are generated which carries impulses towards visual cortex by optic radiations. For such a huge pathway, we require a number of neurons. Let's consider about visual pathway. In visual pathway, we require three neurons: first order neuron, second order neuron, and third order neuron. The axons of bipolar cells act as first order neuron. The axons of ganglionic cells act as second order neuron. And the axons of the nerve cells arising from lateral geniculate body acts as a third order neuron. In the case of cone cells, similarly, we got first order neuron, second order neuron, and third order neurons. Visual pathway is again divided into two types. First is diffuse pathway, second private pathway. In private pathway, a particular cone cell is connected with particular bipolar cells. Bipolar cell is connected with ganglionic cell. By optic nerve, it carries impulses towards lateral geniculate body. In private pathway, there is privacy. Particular cone cell is with a single bipolar cell. Single bipolar cell with a single ganglionic cell. So it is called as private pathway. Private pathway is present in fovea centralis. Private pathway is responsible for acuity of vision and visual discrimination. In case of diffuse pathway, number of cones or rod cells are connected to polysynaptic bipolar cells, and polysynaptic bipolar cell in turn is connected with the diffuse ganglionic cell, and then by optic nerve the impulses are transmitted towards lateral geniculate body. In diffuse pathway, no privacy, so it is called as diffuse pathway. Diffuse pathway is present outside the fovea centralis. Let's go into details of visual pathway. Visual pathway consists of 6 components. 1. Optic nerve, 2nd. Optic chiasma, 3rd. Optic tract, 4th. Lateral geniculate body, 5th. Optic radiation, and 6th. Visual cortex. Let's see what is the magic of our eyes. If the object is placed in the nasal visual field, the image of that object forms on the temporal part of retina. And similarly, if we place the object in the temporal visual field, the image of that object forms on the nasal part of retina. See here, in the left visual, in case of left visual field and left eye, if the object is placed in the nasal part, then the image of that object forms on the temporal part of retina, and if the object is placed in the temporal visual field, the image of that object forms on the nasal part of retina. Let's see the formation of optic nerve. In optic nerve, the temporal fibers are present laterally and carries impulses from the nasal visual field of the same eye, and nasal fibers are present medially and carries the impulses from temporal visual field of the same eye. In case of optic chiasma, every optic medial fibers of optic nerve crosses in the midline fibers to form the optic tract. The crossing of medial fibers forms optic chiasma. By optic tract, the impulses from optic chiasma are transmitted towards lateral geniculate body, and in the lateral geniculate body, the neurons carry impulses towards visual cortex by optic radiations. In the visual cortex, the impulses are perceived, and what the object is, the proper identification and recognition of that object is done. For that, visual cortex must carry various areas or various functions to perform. So, in the visual area, there are three areas. Area 17, primary visual area for the perception of visual impulses. Area 18, association visual area for the interpretation of visual impulses. And area 19 for the movement of the eyes. Using such a complex mechanism, we can see the objects surrounding us and also enjoy the beauty of nature. So all thanks to the God who gave us such a wonderful mechanism of vision and in a proper manner. Some people may lack, some people may have defects in the vision. Let's see how are the defects and what are the defects of vision. Defects of vision due to injury to any part of the optic pathway leads to defect. The defect may be vary according to the site of injury, location of injury, extent of injury. See anopia. Anopia means complete loss of vision in one visual field. And hemianopia. Hemianopia means loss of vision in one half of the visual field. Hemianopia is again divided into two types: homonymous hemianopia and heteronymous hemianopia. Homonymous hemianopia means loss of vision in the same halves of both the visual fields, and heteronymous hemianopia means loss of vision in opposite halves of both the visual fields. Homonymous hemianopia is of two types: right homonymous hemianopia and left homonymous hemianopia. In right homonymous hemianopia, the loss of vision is on the right side of both the visual fields, and in left homonymous hemianopia, loss of vision in the left half of both the visual fields. Heteronymous hemianopia is again divided into two types: bitemporal and binasal. In case of bitemporal heteronymous hemianopia, loss of vision is seen in temporal fields of both the eyes, and in case of binasal heteronymous hemianopia, loss of vision is seen in both the nasal fields of the eyes. Thank you.